Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. I can see here in the chat. Hey Neil, glad to see you again, buddy. We have also Steve on our chat. Hope everyone's doing well. In today's live stream, we're going to basically, as usual, tackle all your questions and just have a quick overlook of what's happening in the cryptocurrency market. Of course, we all hold cryptocurrencies, and we need to know whether we need to swap to any stable coin, or is there like room for growth in the cryptocurrency market? Because it's always better to kind of swap between stable coin and then go back to any cryptocurrency in order to just make more gains and at the same time hedge the price fluctuation that are downwards. And this on the long term proves to be way more beneficial than only holding and then keeping, like losing value whenever the crypto market is going down. You can just simply go back, like go out of the market, take your gains, and then enter again when the prices are way better. And that's what we're going to see for today. Let's start with going to basically the list of the top 10 just to see what's happening today. As usual, this Sunday we can notice that prices are a bit consolidating, and I can see that this is a repeating pattern. Things tend to go slower on a Sunday, so you don't need to be wary or be a bit concerned. Bitcoin is still around 48.5k. This is like a very good sign for me personally. Of course, this stays the same if prices maintain the 46 to 48k level. It would be better, of course, if we see a break in the 50k, and we will see a bit of a resistance around that level. But if we go to 51, 52, definitely this is a great buy opportunity, placing a stop loss around 50 or 49 again. And we're going to discuss that when we go into Bitcoin. We have Ethereum at 3.2. Honestly, in the past 7 days, it barely moved. We have like 1 or 2%, which is nothing. If we look at the chart in the past 7 days, we can see how prices barely changed. They went up and then they went down and then back to the original price. So we don't have much traction in this area. Let's go to Cardano. Made really good performance, a really good performance in the past 7 days. It's up by 8.8%. It broke its all-time high. We're going to see that it's sitting currently at around 2.8. And by the way, there are a lot of developments in this project, and I'm very happy that I managed to pick up on that when when the price was around $1. I did say that it is a great buy, and even 1.1, 1.2, that was still the case. The price more than doubled so far, and that was a great performance for me personally, that because I also entered the trade. We have BNB making 7% also. Number 4, number 5 is there. It's starting to fall, and this shows, by the way, that the market, because the market cap of a stable coin fell and other cryptocurrencies became more valued, this shows that people are kind of swapping their stable coin and going into cryptocurrencies. And this signals, by the way, a good bull run for the overall cryptocurrency market, of course. Ripple lost 8% in the past week. I think this came after a great value appreciation, because prices were around $1 and they jumped all the way towards, I believe, 1.2, 1.3, making 20, 30% returns. But then they are adjusting today. But still, I don't see a big threat for Ripple. I personally have, of course, my long positions, my long-term long positions are since 2017, 18. I bought at around 18 cents, 20 cents. Today I am at $1. I don't mind, but I opened new trades at around 50 cents when I recently, in my previous live streams, suggested to buy at 50 cents. I did that, and I also bought at 1.14. So even my latest trade is still profitable. It's currently at 1.15, and specifically for this new trade, I'm not very concerned. Even if prices fall all the way to $1, because my upside, of course, my target is $2. That's for Ripple. For Dogecoin, many people are also talking about day trading this coin. I shy away from projects that don't have strong fundamentals behind them, like a good infrastructure. Although, like we are seeing how Elon Musk is trying to pump this project, but I don't see any value other than like prices fluctuating with in tandem with all the tweets that are happening on Twitter. USD coin is still at number 8. And Solana is almost going to break USDC. Like there's like less than $100 million between the two, or 100, like let's say 150 million market cap difference, but that's nothing. Polkadot, Solana, by the way, was at around $50. It made like a huge comeback and it was sitting at around 20, 25 maybe on the market cap list. Made a really good jump. We did talk about Solana, I believe, in previous live streams as well. And then we have Polkadot sitting at number 10, pushing Uniswap outside the top 10, currently valued at 25 billion. So between Polkadot and Uniswap, there's like a hefty 10 billion, 9 billion market cap valuation. And for now, I think the top 10 is set, unless we have a huge comeback from any of the other tokens. We have Chainlink at 11 billion, price at 25, ICP 60, Matic at 1.4. We're going to look at that as well. And this comes, of course, as with a price adjustment. I did suggest to buy Matic at 1. We have Tron at 0.089, close to 9 cents. That also I made a prediction to buy when it was at 5 cents. And I also hold Tron from 5 cents, so that's a good trade setup for me as well. And that's it. We're going to look at AVAX as well. We have Neil on the group. I think you suggested to tackle AVAX, and we're going to do that. Great. Let's go to the charts. Okay, I'm going to start with the regular Bitcoin analysis. So I'm going to type BTC USD. This is where you basically type your ticker. I'm going to open the chart from, I'm going to clear all, like start a new chart. Okay, so what's happening with Bitcoin? Let's really dive in. I can spot a very clear support at around 30. I can spot another one at around 40, right here. 40, 40.5. This is basically an area right here. I can spot another one at 50. Of course, this is another area. So those all coincide with of course, psychological price areas. And we can see how clearly prices managed to like have a clear support at around 30 with a few like fake outs every now and then, like right here, for example, right here. At the same time, prices went all the way to 40 and then managed to retrace from that area. 38 is a retracement area, by the way. And now this is where we reached 50K, and then we are consolidating at around 48 right now. So what will happen next? In my assessment, what we can do is the following. I'm going to wait for BTC to cross the 50,000 mark right here. Let me show that specifically. When prices cross this area, and stay above this area for an extended time. And since I'm looking at the daily chart, I would say like a couple of days, 1, 2, 3 days. This is where I place my buy order right here. Place my stop at around 48K, so that's like 2K down, but then place a take profit at around 58 right here. Just looking at the next retracement area, which was right here. And it is a very strong area, the 58K area. So I'm gonna place that right here. And I can see how prices managed to kind of dip above this area and then retrace, and then break it and then retrace, and then dip and then retrace. So I believe the same scenario will happen to BTC as well, with prices going all the way towards this level, and then placing a stop loss at around 48K, just for the sake of catching the price a bit lower if prices manage to retrace a bit lower. Other than that, I think this is a very good trade setup for BTC. And looking at how prices behaved before, I believe that we might face like a bearish behavior for the next few days before continuing back up. That's one case scenario, because prices extended from 30 all the way toward the current price. That's a bit hard to maintain, honestly. Like if we look at this uptrend, it's a bit too harsh, and I would want to see either a consolidation, a sideways trend for the next few days, like a sideways between 48 and 50. And this is happening right now. If we look at it, we have like a kind of consolidation around this area. If this continues, this is fine. If this breaks the 48K, I would wait further towards 44, 45 right here, because I can see like how prices managed to resist around 44, 45. And then place my buy order and then wait for prices to continue higher. But so far, I think Bitcoin is quite recovering, and that's a great sign for the overall cryptocurrency market, because Bitcoin still has a very high market dominance, and we can see that right here. If we go to coin market cap, it's still around more than 40% market dominance. The market cap is around 1 trillion. Managed to go to 1 trillion, I believe, when it hit 50K. So yeah, that's for BTC. Let's go to Ether. So Ether is also consolidating as we saw before. Basically, this is a great consolidation. So the behavior of Ether kind of looks like Bitcoin, but it managed to consolidate more clearly. Here it is. This is the consolidation that I have. I believe it went all the way to 3K. Here it is. So my short-term consolidation is right here. I'm gonna plot that. And then, like for me personally, I would definitely buy Ether at the current price. Place a stop at around 2.9K. But my take profit would definitely be around 4K right here, or 3.8, just to be on the safe side and clearly catch this, catch my profit and liquidate them. But this, of course, depends on the strategy of each trader, each investor. If he's in it for the long term, the short term, there's nothing set in this game. And what we're doing right now is just analyzing what's happening and what might happen, making like an educated guess versus people just guessing and gambling, if you want to call it specifically. So again, if I want to look at Ether's price action, it is consolidating from the past week. I would definitely place like a buy order around here. Maybe wait a bit further for prices to fall, but prices might pick up and continue upwards, and that's why some traders might directly enter the market right here, but place a stop loss at around 2.9 or even 2.85K. right here, just to be sure that I don't get stopped out by my stop loss. So it's currently at around 3.2. Placing a stop loss at around 2.9 is a bit risky, and that's where proper risk management comes in. That's a very good, by the way, from 1.8 all the way to 3.2. That it's gonna almost double. So for people saying that the cryptocurrency market is not doing well, this is the opposite view. And if we look at the steepness of the uptrend, just make sure that I don't have the same steepness. Yeah, well, it's a bit, it's less harsh than before. But at the same time, it needs a price breather, and hence my consolidation today. The market going sideways since the beginning of August, which is a good sign, by the way. I don't mind looking at and seeing those kinds of patterns. On the contrary, this is great for trade setups, where I can basically place my trade and like manage to place my stop losses as well. So for Ether, I would buy. Maybe wait a bit for a price correction, but this $100 from 3.2 to 3 or 3.1 is, for me, is nothing, because my take profit would be somewhere around 4K, just to reach my previous all-time high. It was even at 4.2, 4.3 at some point. But definitely, if you want profit, just place it at 3.8. It should be fine, even 3.75. Let's go to Ripple. Now, if we notice, the steepness of XRP's price increase was way high, and this consolidation right here, or if you want to call it short-term bear market, is very normal. For price increase to happen like this is like exponentially up and very risky to enter. And that's why when prices were around 1 point something, like right here, I advised not to enter. That was too high, and prices were like, we're going to adjust definitely. And this is what happened. Like prices crashed from 1.3 all the way to 1.1. Like that's almost 20% downwards. Now the market is going sideways. I would, if you want to place a trade, I would wait maybe to reach 1.85, 1.08, 1.09, right around here. Also, it's like this same case as Ether. But if we notice right here, this is a very strong support area where prices managed to dip and then readjust. And it was previously a resistance area right here. And today it is acting as a support level again. So my preferred trade setup would be the following. I would wait for prices to go this low and then place my buy order in order to catch this rebound upwards. And that would be my setup for XRP. Now, of course, I'm talking for people who didn't buy yet and who are looking into buying, but don't know if they should buy right now or not. I would advise to wait a bit for Ripple. I would want to see further extension of a downward trend, specifically if I want to see like a downward triangle, for example. Let me draw that to show specifically what I'm talking about. This pattern right here, I would want to see a break in the upwards side, which is this one. I would want to see this, or confirmation of a price outside this triangle upward like that. And this would signal another like a break upwards. And this is called, by the way, a bull flag for technical traders. Great, let me go to AVAX. I'm gonna take it with Tether. Again, a very harsh increase in prices with a definite small price breather that hit almost $41. Buying at this current price is a bit risky. I would definitely wait. Let me zoom into the 2 hours or 3 hours just to see what's happening. Like zooming in, I can see that prices are going steadily on an uptrend channel. But the momentum's kind of like stopped. So let me draw my initial upward momentum. And then it broke right here. And I believe currently it's consolidating at a level above $40 right here. So I would definitely want to see an adjustment again toward $40 to make my trade. We need to be very, we shouldn't be hasty and place like trade setups without waiting. Sometimes waiting is very good. If I wait and prices go higher, I shouldn't even feel bad, because the downside is much worse than an upside. So I wouldn't want to buy right here unless I'm feeling like I want to gamble, and I wouldn't do that if I am a professional trader. So again, for AVAX, I would wait for further adjustments, at least till around 43, 42, and then place my buy order. But it should be a bit, my stop loss should be at around $39, like $1 lower, that's fine. My upside is definitely $10, $15 upwards, which is really good. And this shows a good trade setup. Let me check on TRX. I'm going to check TRX, the chart. And for TRX, we had a really good up. Here we go. This is what I was talking about, but it is extended, by the way. So we were right here. If we want to closely look what happened at 0.05, after prices, here we go, we touched a really low of 0.05. And this is where I placed my trade when I saw this jump right here. It was going on a downtrend, but today we are on a clear uptrend, and an extended one as well. Let me plot my uptrend first, just to see what's happening. I'm basically still within my uptrend channel. Exactly, this is it. That's why I specifically started it from the start. Now it might have broke its initial, like it's faked out. I wouldn't say broke. It's a fake out for like a couple of days, even less than a day. Between the 26th and the 27th, prices managed to do that. And currently we are continuing our uptrend. This is a good, by the way, place to place your order, but placing a stop loss at around, again, like I wouldn't want, like I'm talking to day traders right now, not for long-term holders. If you want to really place your order, but again, for this specific thing, you must have a high capital or placing a leveraged position. Leveraged position, which is basically taking, amplifying your trade in order for small movements to yield you higher. But this is, on the contrary, this is a bit risky when prices go lower or opposite to your direction, because you might go short or long. For like traders, they would want to wait for a price to reach right here and then take another profit when prices reach maybe 0.091, so 9.1 cents specifically right here. But it's not that breakthrough of a trade setup, so I wouldn't want to enter this one specifically. Prices are, I think, let me check their history for TRX. You can check their 1 month chart. So at some point, prices managed to reach 0.3. This is mad. This is in 2018 when the bull run happened, the first like massive bull run of Bitcoin reaching 20K. Wow, I even didn't know that. So our all-time high is 0.3, so there is still some potential for an uptrend. We are currently right here. So my candle can continue going higher, and I would, of course, hope for that. I have more than, I have around 10K maybe in this one. Since 0.05, like 5 cents. If prices reach 10 cents, 20 cents, that's perfect for me. Well, 20 cents is a bit too much. I would say maybe 13 cents, like go back to their previous highs of this year, that would be perfect. Let me check as my last token. I want to check ADA because ADA has been making headlines and it already reached its all-time high. Look at that. 2018 it barely hit 1.3. We are today at 2.8. This is a very risky entry point for Cardano. Very risky. I'll definitely not enter here unless we already bought when I suggested back when prices were around 1.2, 1.1, right here. That was a great entry point for Cardano, but not anymore. Right now we are in uncharted territories, as we say. Yeah, this is very risky to enter unless you are like a trader who like snipes those very small time frames. If you go to the 2 hours, you can notice how the chart starts to look a bit like it makes more sense. So if you want, you are right here. You can see how prices are going on an uptrend still for ADA. Neil is asking if it's a good time to take profits for Cardano. I will tell you where to basically take your profits. Like right now, it's still looking as if it's going on an uptrend because look, it's been going on an uptrend since the middle of the month and it didn't stop yet. Look at that. So right here, not yet. I wouldn't say that prices are starting to fall yet. And by the way, this depends on which level that you enter your trades. If you entered anywhere below 2, you shouldn't take your profits right now. I would take my profits when prices breach 2.5. Or if you want to be more conservative, around 2.6 right here. And I will tell you why. Specifically because right here we have like an interesting area. I would call it interesting. This area right here, the yellow one, is a support level for Cardano currently. And if prices reach the first line right here, I would start to be wary and think about taking my profit and liquidating my position from Cardano. But right now, we still didn't reach this area. So for example, when we were right here, I would say that prices are on the verge of breaking below this line. And this is where I would start to think to liquidate. But right now it didn't, it continued higher, which is a good step for me. But currently I wouldn't think of liquidating Cardano. I would wait. Yeah, well, you bought at 1.4, that's a great entry point. Congrats. So far, I would definitely wait a bit. I wouldn't liquidate right now, but be prepared for prices to adjust a bit lower toward 2.7 2.6 even. It might reach 2.6. When prices reach 2.6, you have to start to be prepared to think about liquidating. Okay, when prices reach 2.5, and if you want to be even more, like, I don't want you to get stopped out from this, your barrier would be at 2.5 at the first step and 2.4 at the second step. This zone is a consolidation for Cardano. I would see a clear consolidation around here. Okay, so and this, again, it depends on your strategy. Like for people who are very conservative, they would definitely start to liquidate at around between 2.4 and 2.5, like right here. For people who don't mind to lose a bit, but they want to be sure that there is a trend reversal, they might wait toward 2.5 and 2.4. So those are your two options. But for now, don't liquidate yet. Okay. I can see also Steve was asking about Cardano. So can you still buy? I wouldn't recommend to buy right now. You might miss like the price reaching $3, but at the same time, prices are very likely to retrace a bit lower toward 2.6 and 2.5. Okay. So for me, I think prices might do this following pattern, which is still showing an uptrend, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to invest in something that is already at its all-time high, right? Why not going and purchasing something that is still growing? For example, Ripple. Ripple is a good entry price at 1.14. It is very close to the $1, and previously it did reach $3, so you still have time to make like triple your money. But right here at 2.8, where do you think prices will go? Toward what? $4? You will less than double your money. And all this risk around your all-time high. Whereas XRP, it still didn't reach its all-time high. And we have like the ability to triple your money. And I think the lawsuit is coming to an end. There are talks of settling, or even not settling, sorry. There are talks of even winning the case without even paying the penalty for the SEC. So I think this news alone will like skyrocket XRP. Okay. And yeah, that's it for today's live stream. I hope it was beneficial and I answered all the questions. Basically did some of the top 10 and we tackled AVAX and Tron. Always look at those levels that I'm doing right here. It is very important to be able to know where to enter and when to exit any asset. If you have any questions, post them on the trading group, and we're gonna try our best to answer, or we're going to take all those questions and tackle them in the next live stream. And yeah, until then, have a great rest of the day and a good week ahead. Cheers.